You are in the temple of the rants, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Andrew Soto, who says, rant about stimulants versus depressants. Well, I don't have a ton of experience with any kind of like drugs that are deliberately made to be stimulant or depressant. I mean, I guess alcohol is a depressant, and I've consumed plenty of alcohol. But like alcohol can have very different effects on on different people. Like I've known people who, when they get drunk, they get really quiet and stoic, or tired, or emotional. I've known people who become total crying messes when they get drunk. I mean, I guess if you get shit faced enough, that happens to most people. But I've only once been blackout drunk before. But like for me, generally, I guess I get drunk to maybe quiet down my thoughts a bit. Like, I tend to be thinking a lot of different shit at basically all times. I tend to be very in my own head, and I think drinking helps me to be more in the moment. So I guess it's a depressant in that sense of like say if I'm at a show or something, like I tend to overthink the experience. I tend to be too concentrated on the sound or the set list or the people around me and that kind of stuff. Getting drunk allows me to be more concentrated on just the show, throwing my body around, having a good time. More single track thought, which also helps a lot with doing really repetitive and menial work. When I'm editing videos, if I am just making lists or something, just doing something that's drawn out and boring, something I don't want to do, especially, it helps me to not be distracted. It helps me to not constantly be thinking about what I could be doing other than this. Slow down and just be in the moment again with the editing. So I guess as far as depressant property goes, those are the ones that are the most important. But I wouldn't say I become less energetic. In fact, the opposite. I get lots of energy when I'm drunk, probably because I'm so single track minded and just jumping onto everything as opposed to being more cautious and thought through as I normally am. And then the only proper stimulant I've ever tried was Adderall, which I've done a few times. Back when me and May first started living together, her brother was hooking us up with it sometimes. But Adderall is just makes me really fucking energetic. It makes me feel like I need to sweat. It's kind of like taking pre-workout. Like my body kind of gets tingly and almost itchy, and it's like I have to move and sweat and use that excess energy. I would call it the house cleaning drug. Like if you want to get your house cleaned, take an Adderall and then fucking just go ape shit cleaning up everything around you, because it makes you feel like you just need to be doing something, but it's not a focused feeling, whereas the depressant will make you just into that one thing. The stimulant will make you bouncing off the walls, trying to look for something immediate, actionable that you can do. And so I would say it's not good for something like editing, because it's going to make you want to get up and do something else. But if you're doing something physical, it definitely helps. So yeah, that's the main way that I could think of using them. I haven't taken a stimulant in a long time, and I don't know which one would be better for coming up with ideas on. I mean, I would say psychotropics are better for that. Weed is much more of a creative drug, much more of a sit around and think about shit, have fun watching stuff. I really think that both stimulants and depressants are better work drugs. They're better for non-creative purposes, getting things done in different ways.
Did you know the Constitution was drafted and they were all drinking?
They're all drinking beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Most documents back then were drafted in pubs.
I think generally I think that it's easier to have a down-to-earth discussion when you're drinking, because again, it mellows you out. It makes you not antsy about getting up and going to do something else, or you're not thinking about what better uses of your time there are. You're just focused on what's going on,
What about caffeine?
Caffeine, is that considered a stimulant?
Yes.
I mean, I just consume it constantly uh, because I guess I've grown up with caffeine, so I'm just used to having a certain amount of it going through my brain at all times, and anything less feels like life is moving slower than it's supposed to. I mean, I'm sitting here downing this green tea, but it's funny because I'm also used to, well, I'm used to like drinking pretty highly caffeinated drinks. They're not nearly as caffeinated as coffee. Like Mountain Dew or tea has more caffeine than most other drinks, but coffee has like a crazy amount of caffeine. And that or like energy drinks, when I drink them, it's too much for me. It's like my brain overloads. Um, it's like I can't do anything with that much energy or processing power. Usually it makes my vision feel brighter, like I can see more detail in anything, like I'm being overclocked, and that just kind of wears me out. So I prefer a steady stream of high caffeine, but not coffee high caffeine. Yeah, that's all I can say about it.